got anything?
Yeah, it was new money. Brand new. The serial numbers checked with the list the Treasury Department sent me.
It's a lucky break.
Yeah, I'm going to telegraph this list to every law enforcement office in the state.
Let's hope he starts spending it soon.
Yeah, I guess Otis's wife does, too. By the way, she's inside waiting. She said she'd been looking for you.
How's she taking it?
Oh, about as well as can be expected, consider.
Sarah?
Jared. He was by your office earlier.
Well, I'm sorry, Sarah. I spent most of the morning at the courthouse.
And you go there again, won't you? I mean when that man who killed Otis is caught and brought to trial.
Sarah, you realize that I'm not the prosecuting attorney.
Otis always had such respect for you, Jared. He watched your career so closely, and he was so proud of you. I've heard him say, you wait, Sarah, you wait until Jared's the Attorney General. He'll do right. He'll be good for everybody. You will do right for Otis, won't you, Jared?
Sarah, whether or not I'm the Attorney General doesn't really matter. The only thing that does matter is that justice be done. I'll see to that, don't you worry.
I believe you, Jared. I leave it in your hands.
Listen, I'm going to meet Nick in a few minutes. Why don't you come with me and come on out to the ranch and visit for a few days?
No. No, thank you. I'm all right now.
Afternoon.
How do you do?
Mr. Barkley here.
Which one of the Barkleys?
The lawyer. Jared.
No, he isn't, but he's expected. Mr. Heath is here.
How about Mrs. Barkley?
She's out visiting.
Well, I'll just wait. In here. Jared, Nick, meet Rich Stokely. Howdy. It's a pleasure. A real pleasure.
You're Rich Stokely?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
How'd he get in here?
Knocked on the door.
Just like that, eh?
Just like that.
You realize you're wanted for murder?
Yes, sir. I sure do. That's why I came here. I want to see you. I figure I'm going to need a lawyer. A good one. And I hear you're the best. Listen to him, Jared. He's got quite a story to tell.
All right, start talking.
Well, it's about all them wanted posters saying that I killed that Stockton banker man.
Didn't you?
Mister, I couldn't have. I wasn't anywhere near Stockton when it happened.
Stokely people saw you, the sheriff for one. And the dead man identified you by name before he died.
That's what I can't figure out. It had to be somebody else. I was over to Jackson, working there. You ask them. They'll tell you.
Who'll tell us?
Fella I was working for over there. Rancher by the name of Bickers, Jason Bickers. And some of the other ranch hands I was working with.
Are you sure about that?
Ain't no reason not to be. Look, I figure maybe it was somebody who had it in for me. No? Use my name? Well, I don't know. But, you know, when I saw all them wanted posters, $5,000, dead or alive, well, I I hightailed it over here as fast as I could to see you because I was afraid someone would put a bullet in me.
How do we know he's telling the truth?
But I am. You gotta believe me.
We don't gotta believe anything. If you're innocent, that has to be proved.
You could do that. Uh-huh. Just on what I told you.
That remains to be seen. In the meantime, I think I'd like to have the Stockton sheriff take a good look at you.
Sheriff? Boy, he'll throw me in jail, won't he?
Probably.
Well, is that what you want me to do?
Right at the moment, Stokely, I don't see that you have any choice.
The man I got locked up in that cell. It's the same man who came running out of the bank. I don't care if he's got 100 witnesses.
Fred, you're absolutely sure?
Good Lord, man, he took a shot at me. Of course I'm sure. I'd swear to it.
Well, when we get to court, I'm afraid you'll have to.
All right, we can proceed.
Now, Sheriff, have you ever seen the defendant, Rich Stokely, before?
No?
And yet you feel that you got a good enough look at him the night you say he ran out of the Stockton bank to put out this wanted poster on him and to identify him here in this court. Is that correct?
Yes, I told you that before, Jared.
Sheriff, isn't there any possibility that you could be wrong?
No.
I see. Sheriff, how would you describe a man of medium height?
5'9" to 5'10".
Mm-hmm. What about 5'11"?
Well, there's little difference.
Granted. What about 6 feet?
Well, that I'd have to call tall.
You would?
What are you driving at, Jared?
Would you please stand up, Mr. Stokely? Now, Sheriff, in your testimony, you described the man you saw that night as being of medium height. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
How tall are you, Mr. Stokely?
A little over 6'1".
Now, Sheriff, I have here in my hand a copy of the voter registration list from the last general election in the city of San Francisco. City of considerable size, wouldn't you say? Mr. Bickers, you're a rancher in Jackson, California, isn't that correct?
I run about 5,000 head.
And aren't you also on the board of directors of the Cattlemen's Bank in Jackson?
I am.
And as such, did you have occasion to do business with the Bank of Stockton, in particular Otis Clark?
Many times. Otis and I were good friends.
Where were you on the night Mr. Clark was killed?
I was in night camp. We were out after some strays.
Then I take it you had ranch hands with you.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Bickers, is any one of the men who was with you that night in this courtroom right now?
Yes. Young fellow who signed on a few days before. That's him there. Rich Stokely.
See you on a raising tent.
Well, if it ain't Harry Banner. What are you doing in these parts?
Oh, looking at some breed stock down the valley a ways. How you been, Charlie?
Fine, fine. How are things up in Stockton these days?
Just like they are here, I guess, at least when I left. Give us a whiskey.
Sure thing.
Sweetheart. How about bringing another bottle?
That's what I'm here for.
You're called, mister. You're gonna play poker or drink?
Buddy,
I can do both. That's for the bottle, and that's for you. You just stick around till I get through playing here.
I'm not going anywhere.